Hi, JJ here from 22 Explosive Hits. There's a new channel out there. His name is CGCVINYLGUY. And he put a contest out there that he wanted to see more soundtracks. He wasn't seeing a lot of soundtracks in the vinyl community. Well, for those of you who know me and know movies, know that I have a ton of soundtracks. So what I told him back was, I'll do something for you, but I don't think you want to see all the soundtracks I have because that video would probably be about 12 to 14 hours long. And I'm not sure that he has that kind of time, nor do other people to watch that video. And plus, I'd like to show them in different ways and different opportunities. So, what I told him I'd do is I would do like a theme. And so, the theme that I chose for this particular one is Chicago. I'm going to grab 5 soundtracks that I have in my collection that all have to do with his city of Chicago. Being that I'm from Milwaukee, pretty nearby, and I'm very familiar. Heck, if I need to fly out quickly enough, I always thought of O'Hare. Anyways, first one I'm going to show is the movie Nothing in Common with Tom Hanks. This was filmed on Printers Row up Dearborn, South Dearborn on Printers Row is where the character lived in this film. Now, if anybody watched this film close enough, you'll notice something. Where he parks his car and where he works are far away from each other. It looks good for the movie, but if you actually lived in Chicago, you would not want to walk that far. Another funny part in this movie that you might notice is that when he's walking into the office in the opening of the film, he is actually stopped by a bunch of people that ask him about no lights at Wrigley Field. It was a big movement at the time, and he actually makes a joke saying "gave many, many times, gave many, many times," and keeps walking on by. So the first one I'm going to show is Nothing in Common. This one has on here Richard Marx. This one also has on here the Thompson Twins, Carly Simon, as well as the Kinks and Aretha Franklin. So it's a really good soundtrack and a really good mix. And when you're talking Chicago, you can't get any more Chicago than the movie for Risky Business. This is done by Tangerine Dream, as well as also has other classics on it as well, such as Old Time Rock and Roll, and it also has on here, let's see, one by Jeff Beck, The Pump by Jeff Beck, TMSR by Prince, After the Fall by Journey, In the Air Tonight, and then of course Love on a Real Train. This was a French import of the soundtrack that I picked up at a record store. Sounds really good. I like it, and plus one of my all-time favorite lines of sometimes you just got to say what the. There you go. Next one is The Breakfast Club. Can't get much more Chicago than this. This was filmed at an abandoned high school just outside of Northbrook, Illinois, I believe. They keep referring to the town though as Shermer, Illinois, and even Kevin Smith made a joke about that in one of his films where he went out to Illinois looking for Shermer, Illinois. We all know that Shermer, Illinois is a made-up town by John Hughes and does not really exist, but it was filmed around the Northbrook area where he is from and where he was born and raised. I was actually just there recently. Google took me that way to go past that area when I was on my way to a concert, and I even told Beth how I was driving around where Wyatt and those guys from Weird Science drove those sports cars. So that was pretty cool. Next one is About Last Night. Can't get much more Chicago than this film as well. It's kind of fun in this movie because the main character actually wants to create a joint or like a restaurant. And for those of you who are really paying attention, the guy that owns the restaurant in this film of the joint that Rob Lowe buys is actually the same guy that managed the restaurant in 90210. If you want to keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, the shows like Wrigley Field, him being able to see games from outside of Wrigley Field, takes place many scenes on the train, restaurant supplies in Chicago. I enjoy about this film is not just Chicago, around. It kind of shows what is life like to live in Chicago a little bit, probably deeper than most films I've ever done. And last but not least, I'm going to show The Color of Money, and people are going, The Color of Money, that's Atlantic City, but no, wait. It was Navy Pier. Actually, this film was actually shot at Navy Pier. It was not shot at Atlantic City because they would have had to gone all the way from Chicago to Atlantic City and do all that. So what they did was they made Navy Pier look like Atlantic City, and that's where the ending pool tournament was. I actually found this out when I toured a school called Columbia College back in 1989 for my after high school when I was looking at going into film. And they were the ones that told me that many of their students had actually interned on The Color of Money during that scene of the pool. So that was also filmed in Chicago. So, CGC Vinyl Guy, I wish you all the luck. Welcome to the VC. I really support your contest. I really support all that you're doing. I just want to remind the vinyl community, let's bring each other up rather than bring each other down. Have a great day.